episode 164.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have with us again Stephanie Inge.
Yay!
Stephanie, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic, man. Doing great. Thank you so much.
You're not going to ask me, Ron. You're not going to ask how I'm... He does this, Stephanie. I mean, it's unbelievable. I've been working with him all these years, and he never asked me how I'm doing. I'm fine, Ron. Thank you.
So Stephanie began selling on eBay in 1999, founded the original eBay sellers group, the Dallas eBaybes and eMales in 2002, and became the first ever college-level eBay instructor. She published Meetup Organizer Step-by-Step Success Guide in 2013 and is the organizer of the annual eCommerce Cruise and At Sea eCommerce Conference. Wow.
Nice. Dallas eBaybes. That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
And eMales. Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely a play on words, and it stuck. And I have to admit, I know it's very cheesy, but we've kind of, the name has stuck with us. And so even though we have diversified over the years, based on different, expanding our platforms, we've stuck with the name because it's us.
Cheesy works. Cheesy works worldwide. It doesn't matter where you are. Sometimes it just comes in. Yes. That's it.
But that's really cool, man. I mean, not many people can say that. I mean, obviously, there's only one that can say that you guys started the first ever. That's really cool, man. And now, how many meetup groups are there around the country?
In the United States, I believe there's 143. But I work closely with eBay, specifically Brian Burke. We're trying to expand that, and eBay's working very closely with all meetup organizers, but that is what I want my legacy to be. And as I get older, you think about stuff like that.
Sure.
And I think one of the greatest honors I had was when I spoke at the eBay Open in July. They invited me to speak for 3 different events, and I was introduced as the first lady of Meetup.
Wow.
So, that kind of made me feel good. At least maybe that's how I'll be remembered, is like my contributions to the eBay community and growing that community through local, events like that. I'm very passionate about that.
Absolutely. And you know what? Anywhere and everywhere we go, people know Stephanie. I mean, for real, you have really worked really hard. I think it's been around 25 years you've been doing this. Is that correct?
2002. Tomorrow will be our 15th anniversary.
Oh, 15th. Okay. Wow. That's awesome.
That's what you call dedication. I mean, that's a commitment. That's longer than a marriage normally lasts.
Charge anything. So I do it for free, and sometimes that's a challenge, to find venues to actually have an event. So I do the best I can, and I think the moral to that story is, if you want to do it, you can do it without any funds. It doesn't take a lot of money, and it doesn't take a ton of work, but it does take dedication.
Definitely.
And
love.
I've never missed a meeting, and so I'm very proud of what I have been able to accomplish.
That is amazing. Seriously, that is dedication, right?
So what happens? What happens at these places? Do people just show up and they eat pizza and talk about eBay, or what?
I can tell you, quickly. We have a simple itinerary from 6 to 7. We network and we eat. We don't meet at a pizza joint, but a lot of meetups do.
Right.
Typically, we meet at a restaurant, and everybody is required to order dinner. So instead of having to pay for a venue, book it on an off night for the restaurant so they welcome our business.
Yeah.
And then in turn, we have to order an entree.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And that's building relationships, and that's building small businesses. Love it.
So from 6 to 7, we eat and network. From 7 to 8:30, we invite a guest speaker, or we pull a speaker from our membership who is an expert maybe in packing and shipping or customer service or photography, and we have a class. So we either have a speaker or we have a class.
That's amazing.
So people in your meetup group have no excuse to fail, right?
Well, they really don't, because they have a network of like 450 people that they can reach out to at any time and ask a question. And we're on Meetup, but most of our conversations are on Facebook, on our private Facebook group.
What a great service. I mean, so anyone can just rock up. So do you have to become a member or something? Or
yes, but it's free.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
If it weren't such a long drive from St. Louis, I'd do it.
Now, we have had virtual. In fact, our speaker this month is Cliff Inico from Connecticut. And he's going to talk to us about the tax changes and all that. Something we all hate, but he has a gift of making it fun.
Yes. Oh, no way! He makes it tax fun. That's awesome.
It's hysterical. Yeah.
He's got a sense of humor. Yeah, he does have a good sense of humor, for sure.
Yeah, so he's entertaining, and so we try to cover every topic that would benefit an eBay seller. And then you have the challenge. We have veteran eBay sellers and we have new eBay sellers.
Yep.
So you have to mix it up and have something that will help everybody.
Sounds like our podcast show, Ollie.
Yeah, definitely sounds like it. So how does someone meet up? What do they do? Is it like, do they go to a place where they look online or something? So if someone's in Japan or someone's in some other, I was going to come up with an American continent, but I couldn't think of one.
Hey, fair question. They can go to meetup.com, and at the top of every page, whether you're registered or not, there's a search box. And it's very straightforward. Find a meetup or start a meetup.
Okay.
So you put a topic in there. And if you wanted one on podcasting, you'd put podcast. And by default, it will find any meetup that pertains to podcasts within 25 miles of your home. Because you can't, you have to, I guess, be registered on Meetup so they know where you live.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. However, you can expand that to any distance you want. So for eBay sellers, they could put in eBay. And my meetup, I think, may be the only one in Texas right now. As big a state as it is, I think it's still the only one. There may be one in Austin still. I don't know if Sabrina is still active. But anyway, it will pull up the meetups. And for anyone interested in starting one, a meetup of any type, with your subscription, the only time you pay a subscription fee is if you want to start one. Just to be, I don't want people to think you have to pay to join. Only if you want to host a meetup. You're allowed to host 3 separate meetups for the same subscription fee. And in turn, they will keep up with our RSVPs. We'll have a web page or a website. We get a calendar. So there's a lot of benefits. But with eBay, they have, like I said, have been working closely with us to grow the whole community and our meetups. So they now have a page on the Meetup the eBay website to find eBay meetup groups.
Wow, that is really cool. A lot of good information, too, because you know what? Meetups have been around for a long time, but a lot of people don't really know about them, or they don't know the power behind them because, someone like yourself has been doing this for quite a while. is still going to a meetup tells me that there's still value in you showing up to a meetup. So, if you're out there listening and you're brand new, or maybe you've been doing this for a while and you're just struggling with something, or just want to be able to network, look at your meetup.com and find out where there's one near you.
Definitely.
And something, food for thought here. When you go to a conference, or when someone goes to a conference, and you see them and you say, hey, how was the conference? Well, what was the best thing about the conference? Or what did you learn? 9 times out of 10, that person is going to say, I really enjoyed meeting the people, and
Yes.
I really got the most out of it, like sitting at dinner, just trading stories and tips and tricks and stuff like that. Sometimes that's where you learn the most. It may not be from the speaker. So with meetups, that's a way to meet people locally and do the very same thing. But you don't have to pay the travel expense, and all that. And you can do it every month.
And the other thing that's really cool about that is I always say that when you shake a person's hand, you change the dimension of the relationship, and really, it's kind of important. Like if you and I, Stephanie, talked on the phone all day long and you gave me eBay advice, that's awesome. And I really appreciate that. But if we met in person then and we started talking, all of a sudden our friendship just became more binding, more real. Yes, absolutely.
And I have a huge social media marketing group. We have about close to 2,000 people. But what's crazy, you say social media or you say social media marketing, and a lot of people are not that social. They only see people on Facebook or see their profiles. And so our little byline or tagline is putting the social back in social media by having a meetup once a month.
I love that. I love that.
We actually get to shake hands, but we're huggers down here in Texas, so we usually hug. And
big hugs, I'm sure, right? Everything's bigger in Texas, yeah.
And so it goes to the point that you just made. That makes the relationships real.
Right.
We have eyeball to eyeball contact, and we have that physical contact.
Love it. I mean, I just think it's great in the modern day and age, when we're sort of becoming less social, we now need to bring back more stuff like this with social. So what have you been up to with eBay? You still selling on eBay? You still doing your thing on eBay?
I am. My niche for the past year, and I have to give props to my good friend Tino. I can't pronounce his last name. I would butcher it. He is a total rock star, and you would never know it because he's very humble. I love that. Just a really, really nice, down-to-earth guy. But he got me fired up about shoes. And I never dreamed people would be buying used shoes on eBay. But he's done so well that he had to quit his day job about 2 or 3 years ago, and he's just kept going up, up, up since.
Wow.
And that got my attention. So about a year ago, I started selling shoes, men's and women's, and handbags. So that's what I've been doing. And I'll give you my latest cha-ching story.
Cha-ching!
Yeah, I had this purse, and I have death piles galore. I'm not proud to say that, but I'm honest. And so, anyway, I had these purses, and I was tired of taking pictures of shoes. So I thought, okay, I'll take pictures of handbags today. So I took a picture of this handbag, did my research. When I bought it, I knew it had to be a good one because it was made in Italy, and you could just tell it was a quality, piece. But after I took the pictures and was getting ready to list it, I had to research it.
Yep.
And so I thought I was seeing things. I was on seeing all the shopping links pop up, and the brand is called Bottega Veneta.
Okay.
Which I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, but I was seeing Neiman Marcus $2,500, $2,800, and all these exorbitant prices. And I went,
Ooh.
wow, it's a good purse. So one of our members has started a buy-sell trade handbag store about 4 years ago, and they have this expensive software that can authenticate handbags.
Okay.
So I sent him the pictures, my purse, and he said, I'm pretty sure based on your photographs that it's genuine.
Oh, wow.
This was around Thanksgiving. He said, bring it in like Friday after Thanksgiving, and I'll authenticate it for you. So I did, and he just did a rough, search on eBay, and he said, you could probably get $100-$150. And it was a vintage piece. So anyway, I thought, I am not going for $100 or $150. I'm going to shoot for the moon.
Yes.
Right, we're in Texas.
Yeah.
So I listed it on eBay, and I cross-posted it on Poshmark, $1,200 on both sites.
What?
And people started watching it and asking questions. I ended up selling it to this high-powered attorney in downtown New York City, in Manhattan.
No way.
For $650.
Yeah, go.
And I paid $395 on at Goodwill. And so, but the bad thing is, she wanted to return it because she said it was shinier than she thought. I'm going, oh my God.
Should have taken in some of that Texas dirt. That's what you should have done.
Yeah. So I called eBay yesterday, and I thought, well, I'm going to be positive. When I get it back, I can sell it for more. But eBay gave her a deadline of December 17th, and she never returned it. So they released the funds to my PayPal account. So all's well that ends well. So that's my latest cha-ching.
Do you know what? It's never a dull moment on eBay, is it? There's always something exciting happening, whether it's something like that, whether you found that product that makes so much money or you've lost money. I mean, that's why we do it. We're doing it for the hit.
Yeah, it's a rush.
Yes.
When you do that and you're just like doing cartwheels, you go, oh my God. And it's just like flipping houses or flipping furniture. It's the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah, it's the entrepreneurial spirit. That's what we've got. So what are you visualizing then for the future? Are you going to just keep building eBay stores? Are you going to do more meetup groups?
No, here's my plan for 2019. I've been teaching at the local colleges. I've been teaching eBay and Amazon classes and social media classes for, eBay since 2002, Amazon since 2011, social media since about 2011. And I'm expanding that to Poshmark because that is a platform I've been using now for about 6 months, and I'm very, very excited about it. It's only for clothing, shoes, and accessories. So if you're not selling any of that, you don't even need to bother. But I like it because it's totally different than any other platform that I've done or sold on. And then I'm also incorporating into my classes, but these will not be college classes. They will be at a different venue, vision board classes. Vision boards, they kind of go along with the power of positive thinking.
Yep. Brilliant
the
stuff.
Visual, picture yourself doing something and it will happen.
Definitely.
And so that is, I'm adding to my repertoire, and then also having online classes, which I do eBay and Amazon, but I want to incorporate other classes into the mix and have them recorded so I can use them over and over again, because one person, you're trading dollars for hours.
Yeah.
And so when you record them, you can, it's evergreen content.
That's it. Like this wonderful podcast show called So You Want to Sell on eBay, it's evergreen content. So are you just a shoe person, are you? Is that your? I mean, would you sell socks? Would you sell T-shirts, or is that just something you've sort of become good at?
I do sell T-shirts. I do. Another thing I do, is I use print on demand websites for T-shirts and other items. One of those is merch. I publish my book through CreateSpace, and right now I'm in the process of learning how to create journals, all types of journals and planners using CreateSpace. So I'm really upping my game on that, and those will be sold through Amazon. Okay. But not under my name. When it's print on demand, they're just kind of a generic brand.
Yeah. So does that work? I mean, because we've heard some other people have done it. It just gets printed when it sells, sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, is it a good way of doing it? Is it good quality, like screening and stuff like that?
The book itself.
Print on demand, yeah. So like you write your own book, and then you write the book, and then you put it in, and then it just sells, and they print it. Do they? Is it good, like printing and stuff? Good quality?
Yes, but I've seen a couple of the T-shirts that were produced by merch, and I really wasn't happy with the quality of the fabric on those. And merchants only have two choices when it comes to T-shirts. Yep. A high end and a regular end, so to speak. And the high end, you make less money. So most people opt for the cheap one so they can make more money. But the good news is merch is expanding their product line. So now they have hoodies, long sleeve T-shirts,
all these other type of stuff that you can just print. So if I had wanted, like, I don't know, a pair of socks printed or something, they can do that? Is it limited to a certain type of product?
Socks, but I have other websites. So when I create a design, I don't have to just upload it to merch. I can use it on several print-on-demand websites. One of the ones I use is Cafe Press, and they literally have thousands of products I can put that same design on. So you create one design and you can use it, on tons of different websites and thousands of different products. Yep. But you have to be on point. You have to be ahead of the trends. And an example was, remember the eclipse, the big eclipse in
August 21st.
August?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, you weren't at eCom Chicago, were you, Ron?
Every year.
Every year.
Don't let Rich Syack think that I wasn't there.
Okay, so I wasn't there this year. So I'm talking about 2017.
Right.
You were there. I do remember that. Do you remember Chris Green telling us about Kim Jensen?
Oh, absolutely. She's a rock star.
Okay, well, she turned her merch business to her high school daughter, and it was in April. The eclipse was in August, and so the daughter printed out a pretty basic design, and it just said, okay, in the middle was, I don't know if it's a photograph or a drawing of the full eclipse. The ones from this side were the stages of the sun and moon leading up to it. And this is the stages afterwards. So there's maybe 3 pictures here and 3 pictures after. And underneath in courier print, old-timey typewriter, it was the date. It was like 08-21-2017, I guess. Well, when she put this on merch in April 2017, 6 months before it happened, she was cranking out about $2,000 or $3,000 a week. Yep. Just in T-shirts. And then the week of the eclipse, I think he said she sold about $50,000 worth of T-shirts.
Right.
Wow.
I think that's the number. It was a crazy, crazy number, but it was an awesome. And like you said, it was a very, very easy design. It wasn't too complicated, but it was
and then you have
spot on.
Daniel Caudle, who's from North Carolina. He was 19 years old, and he was selling $20,000 a month.
Yep. So, what would you say to someone who is actually just kind of, struggling with eBay? And, we talked about the meetups. That's a great place. It's a great resource. But what other resources are there for someone who might be struggling in their eBay business to reach out to, besides the podcast show, obviously, right?
Right. The podcast is a great tool, but then you have Facebook groups. You have specific groups. For instance, if someone's selling antiques or collectibles, they could go to the thrifting board. People are just so willing to give you help identifying various products. You have many different Facebook groups. That's not the only one. It's the largest one. And then you have other groups that are more specific, or more generic. It could be just selling in general. But I would also recommend, if someone is totally green, we're all going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But by taking a class from a professional eBay seller or instructor, you can eliminate a lot of the common pitfalls that people make and kind of gain a leg up.
The experience.
Yeah. And then follow up and stay in touch with people via Facebook groups, meetup groups, the podcast. You've got YouTube. There's tons and tons of videos available. But I will caution people against this. There are so many people out there wanting to teach and sell you a course.
Yep.
Be very wary. Be very careful before you just hand over your hard-earned money to someone without vetting them. Ask someone you know and trust if they would, spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
But, because there's so much free information available, be sure and check all your resources before you spend a ton of money with someone that's selling a course. To me, that's almost a sign to turn around and run the other way.
Definitely.
True that. Yeah, that's for sure. Yep, absolutely. Cool. Well, you know what? Let me just ask you one more question. I know Ali has something he wants to say too, but, Stephanie, we really appreciate you. You are such a staple in the eBay environment. And I would say that if anybody is out there, they're starting or they're struggling, I know Stephanie loves helping people. She's built her life and her career around helping people. So feel free to reach out to her. She is available to you, I'm sure, right?
I am.
Yep.
That's what we love about you, Stephanie. That's why we wanted you back on the show, because you're doing such good for so many people out there, and you are, like you said, the original meetup woman. I mean, it's better than being like the plastic bag woman or something, isn't it? I mean, it's a better sort of branding. So thanks for spending the time with us. We've really enjoyed it. So how can people get in contact with you? What's the best way they can communicate with you if they wanted to reach out to you?
Well, they can contact me through Facebook, my phone number, my email. If they go to my personal Facebook group or to Dallas eBaybes and eMales, they're welcome to join the group. But I have that information readily available if they go to my Facebook group and just click on About.
Cool. All
There's
right.
links. And so I'm not hard to get in touch with.
No, I bet you know. I mean, I just stick you in Google and we can find you.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll post all of those on today's show, on the show notes page, which is www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/show notes. So go over there and check them out. We also have this brand new event, brand new summit, happening on the 24th to the 26th of January. This is something that you want to be checking out. This is only a 3-day summit. you can go to soyouwannasellsummit.com to get more information. So make sure you check that out. We're going to be interviewing some amazing people and stuff like that. Don't want to give too much away because it's all very exciting. So go to soyouwannasellsummit.com and you can find out a lot more information about this 3-day summit that will be coming. Stephanie, as always, we love having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us. From everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwannasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter @Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
This podcast was produced in part by Pro VoiceWorks.